Howdy, my darling Taurus. How are you doing today? My name is SimplyVelca, and today we're going to be getting into your weekly tarot reading for January 2023. All right, Happy New Year, my darling Taurus. So if you enjoy this tarot reading, let me know in the comments below how this tarot reading resonates with you. That's how I keep up with y'all, is through the comments, of course, as well, my darling Taurus. If you want to support me, the best way to do it is completely for free, my friend. All right, just give this video a like and subscribe. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it really does help me out quite a bit, and I appreciate those who do that extra step to support me. So all that being said, Taurus, let's just jump right into your tarot reading here today, see what's happening, what's manifesting for you. We're going to start out with the back of the deck energy, which seems to be the 10 of Cups. All right, so pretty fabulous energy here, Taurus. I know from the cards I was just showing to you previously, all right, you might be a little bit intimidated because you're just like, ugh, you know, that devil. But what comes to mind here, especially because I just pulled, after I pulled this, you have the Ace of Cups here. So a lot of Cups energy. It feels to me, Taurus, like this is going to be the month of fulfillment for you. I feel like this is going to be the month of where it's like you're starting to ask yourself the question of being like, all right, what do I want to build for myself? What is the future that I want to create? What is it like, you know, it's like you're having the sense of like trying to have a be more aligned with like your purpose and what it is that you're doing with your life here. All right, I do feel like once you start asking the question, Taurus, of like what is meant for you, whether that's with people, whether in relationships, or whether that's with jobs, opportunities, you know, just working and all in that avenue there, it's like once you start asking questions, the Ace of Cups comes in here. All right, I'm gonna just continue pulling from the back of the deck until I feel told to stop, Taurus, so just so you understand. All right, and so once you start asking the questions, the Ace of Cups comes in here. All right, now the Ace of Cups in tarot, Taurus, represents this sense of like your heart chakra opening up. Right, by definition, the Ace of Cups can represent opportunities coming forward, new love and new opportunities. So it's like once you start asking the question, Taurus, like where it's just like, oh, there has to be more, kind of like I feel like on some level you're on the Eight of Cups journey, even though we haven't pulled it for you yet, Taurus, where it's like you came into this new year where you're just like, no, this isn't me. All right, this isn't me. I feel like you're like very much so like this strong desire of doing some type of drastic change, and it's through that drastic change, Taurus, is that when the world is going to start opening up for you, when new opportunities are going to find you, Taurus. All right, and so what I really want you to be doing, if you want to really make this year your year, Taurus, truly, you need to get out of your head. All right, the Eight of Pentacles coming in here, and then the Four of Pentacles, or Eight of Swords, and then the Four of Pentacles in the reverse tells me, Taurus, that you are so afraid of taking action. It's like you don't want to make the wrong step forward, right? You feel like on some level you might be walking on eggshells in your life, and that may just be because, honey, it's because you can't afford it financially, mentally, or emotionally, right? You know, you can't afford a misstep, you feel, on some level. And what your spiritual team is really trying to tell you at this time, where it's like, I'm not going to sit here, Taurus, and be like, oh yeah, darling, you shouldn't be questioning things, you shouldn't be feeling anxious or whatever. That means you're not being spiritual or you're listening to your intuition. Girl, that's just not the reality of it, right? Naturally, you're going to have those like thoughts where you're just like, oh, I don't want to mess it up. But the thing about it is, Taurus, is that with the Eight of Swords, by definition, the Eight of Swords represents the sense of like, kind of like dysmorphia. If you ever have heard the term like body dysmorphia, is like what you see in the mirror is in actuality, you know? So it's like people who have body dysmorphia, sometimes they see themselves as where it's just like they are thinner than they actually are, or the reverse, where they see themselves and they're just like, oh, I don't, you know, I need to lose like 10 pounds, whatever, right? In this type of sense here, while it can be relevant in that sense, you know, the Eight of Swords can also be the sense of where what you see in the mirror with yourself, where you're just like, oh, I don't think I have the potential to do that, right? You know, I hear all the time, Taurus, from people where it's just like, oh, like I would love to do what you do, Velka, but I'm just not like you, right? And then the reality is, Taurus, is like I'm an introvert, you know, after the camera shuts off, like I love my own company. I don't really like talking, you know? And so what I want to be challenging you on, Taurus, is that I feel like you're not giving yourself enough credit. And on some level, I think you would even raise a brow at me and challenge me, Taurus, and be like, oh, Velka, no, I'm able to gas myself up pretty good, right? But why are your actions not are congruent with that? All right, that's going to be my question to you, Taurus, is that if you truly believe of your capabilities, your intelligence, and what have you, and I'm not saying it's not there, all right, I'm obviously saying that it's fully there, Taurus, but it's like, if you truly thought you were extremely intelligent, you would have no problems doing X, Y, and Z, taking whatever risk. If you truly That's really what it is. I just want you to start having a lot more confidence in yourself and stop doubting yourself, because the moment you start asking the questions and we're almost in the sense of being like, no, I'm ready for more. I'm ready to really align myself with my purpose, right? You're going to be very pleasantly surprised by how the world around you starts opening up. I really do feel like opportunity is going to start finding you once you start asking the question, but it is requiring for you, Taurus, to get the ball going, essentially. To you're not going to receive any other signs and you haven't already received, Taurus, of the push forward of what you need to do. Right, you need to just start taking that leap of faith as that full energy, right? And then allow your spiritual team to show to you why it was worth taking that risk, because I really do feel like you just have to really walk through the door, and then you're going to see everything that has been waiting for you on the other side, but you're not going to be able to see it until you are up through that door. Does that make sense, Taurus? And so we have all those cards that we unpacked for you, Taurus. And then we have the Devil, the Knight of Wands here, and the Seven of Cups. I feel like you're in this place right now, Taurus. Again, in this place of questioning, is being like, all right, like on some level, I feel like you're able to acknowledge the problem, the devil, right? You're able to acknowledge and be like, all right, I got to take care of this problem here. All right. I feel like you're considering other options at this time with that Knight of Wands, being like, what is going to make me feel more alive again? I feel like you really are in this place, Taurus, of breaking routine. And I feel like that's the best thing, course of action that you could be taking for yourself, is to really break the routines here. I'm going to be honest here, Taurus. I feel like where whatever success looks like for you, is because it's going to be very different for each of you, Tauruses. Whatever success looks like for you, whatever that forward momentum in your life looks like for you, it's going to be happening not through banging your head against what feels like a brick wall with current objectives or current projects that you have going on. It's going to be coming in through other things. It's through experimentation, through looking around and seeing what drives you more. All right, really, as this Knight of Wands, what I want you to be thinking about when you see this, Taurus, well, yes, you are an earth sign, darling, but I feel like this is going to be your journey here pretty soon here, of where you are following with some type of flame, right? The Knight of Wands is the type of person that really goes forward with something and they don't really think about it. And I know, and I'm not saying like to just rush head first into anything, no thoughts there. Obviously, let's use our heads here, darling, right? But the Knight of Wands doesn't suffer from paralysis by overanalysis. The Knight of Wands kind of just does it, all right? So if you're wanting to start like a YouTube channel, if you're wanting to start whatever this is for yourself, just do it and feel it out in the moment, because you're smart enough to think on your feet in the moment. Trust yourself more, Taurus, all right? And we'll do 3 more cards here for you. They all fell out. A lot more fiery energy. All right, you have the Emperor, the 7 and 2 of Wands coming in for you, Taurus. All right, I'm going to be honest, Taurus. I feel like once you start asking those questions, this is what you're going to be. This Emperor, you're meant, you'll notice with this Emperor card, they're holding this the chess piece, right? I think the king, right? Girl, why am I struggling with it? It's the king, right? They're holding that chess piece, right? Letting you know, Taurus, that you are in control. Like you are, not to say like you're the puppet master, but it's like you are in control of your situation. You are an authority, an authoritative figure, right? The Emperor does not suffer from any type of dysmorphia. The Emperor knows their worth, right? And so 7 and 2 of Wands coming in here. The thing about this is, Taurus, is like, this really makes me think of someone that's like, they really want to claim their power, sit on their throne as that Emperor, but they're afraid of like the reactions from other people. With the 7 of Wands here, the 7 of Wands, Taurus, I'm not gonna lie, this is the type of energy where it's like, people who are jealous of you, people who don't want to see you go after accolades that they also want to go after because they feel threatened by you. When you go after those accolades, why can't I say that? And you are able to accomplish them and they are not. For example, if you're wanting to do something on social media, chances are you're going to be dealing with some haters, right? I'm not that type of tarot reader that's going to present to you this fairy tale sunshine and rainbows. The reality is you're going to be having people that challenge you, and then you need to just get comfortable with the idea that not everyone's going to like you. If everyone is liking you, Taurus, that is a sign that you don't stand for anything, because you when you stand for something, there's always going to be someone in the world that disagrees with you, and you need to get comfortable with this idea of understanding that there's just going to be some jealous haters. There's going to be, as you continue pursuing your career, could continue getting comfortable in your throne, like in the future you're going to just be having those people that challenge you, and the reality is that's not a sign of that you're doing anything bad. It's a sign that if anything that you're doing something extremely positive, because they're wishing, those people that are jealous of you are wishing that they are you. All right, so I'm going to give you your oracle reading for today, Taurus, and I'll send you off on the rest of your day. All right, so you have the honeybee oracle card coming in here. Let compassion and forgiveness be your top priority in this situation here. What is this in relevance to, Taurus? Let's pull a tarot card for it. Ace of Pentacles. Ooh, let's do one more. And Five of Pentacles. See, this is, excuse me, this is where I was kind of already leaning towards. I feel like on some level, Taurus, you need to give, 2022 happened, all right? And it may not have been as prosperous of a year as you were hoping for it to be. And I feel like on some level, you're being a little bit too hard on yourself, Taurus, from that fact, because it's just this sense of where it's like, oh, I could have been better, should have done more, whatever the case is, Taurus. And that's really toxic. Just stop beating yourself up. Give yourself more grace for being human here, all right? Forgive yourself for not accomplishing as much as you wanted to accomplish in 2022, darling. All right, because you have a whole nother year. On some level, this is where my Grinch comes out, Taurus. But I'm not a really big holiday person, whether it's the Christmas, New Year's, whatever the holiday is. It's just another day for me. And I want to put this in perspective for you, Taurus, that nothing changes from yesterday to today, or from December 31st to January 1st. It's another day for you to chase after opportunities, and you're just as likely to accomplish them now as you were that yesterday. All right, and so give yourself some grace. You have plenty of time to go after what it is that you want to do. All right, sometimes you just have a slower start. That's just very human. All right, remember that you are human. Taurus. All right, so let's get into one last oracle card here. Your number for this week in numerology is the number 9, Taurus. So write that down. Thinking on your feet, this fox spirit. All right, so this is what I was already saying beforehand. You are able to think on your feet, Taurus, and that's really what your story is going to be for January, is this sense of where it's like you're going to be thinking on your feet. Take action first and trust your instincts and being able to think on your feet in the moment rather than obsessively trying to plan everything out. And I get like this sense, Taurus, where it's like you have a calendar of what you want to accomplish in January, and unless you do everything on that calendar in in one sitting, then it's like you want to just throw your hands up and give up. All right, something intuitively that just came forward as well, Taurus, before I let you go, so take this with a grain of salt. It's not going to be for everybody, but I get like this message of reach back out. I don't know what this is about, Taurus, and someone needed to hear this, but where it's just like reach back out. This gives me this sense where it's like you want to communicate with something. Maybe it's like an old job or something like that I definitely have some history that you're not connected to the energy anymore, and there's like this push from something that's telling me to say just like reach back out, extend out one hand, and you'll be surprised by the response that you get. So that's the weekly tarot reading that I have for you, Taurus. Hopefully something in here resonated, and I'll connect to you sometime in the near future. I love you so much, darling. Bye, Taurus.